Alright, so this is the garden. It's a 10 by 20 raised bed. First inspection you might think pretty messy garden, but kind of doing a permaculture style garden, which includes some volunteers which are from, more than likely from the soil seed bank, which is where it's kind of a phenomenon which seeds are still viable in the soil from anywhere from, well, there's a long-term soil seed bank which is from 5 years to they're not really sure. Some of the best wild greens, lamb's quarters, they've found seeds that are, I think, 40,000 years old. But the short term is anywhere from 1 year to 5 years, or first year to 5 years, right? So I'm kind of letting things go up, and I'm kind of trying to seed some new things in, so I'll kind of show you what I've got going on. Obviously I've got these old gazebo things here, but this is going to be like my trellis here. Got some beans coming up on them, and some cilantro that's been seeded in here, which is actually really good for detoxing. As I mentioned earlier, it helps bring the metals out of the muscles. And if you add a little bit of something like pascalate clay pascalate, or even just charcoal, break it up real fine, you're going to be absorbing some of that and help deflect some of the negative things that can happen when you're doing a detox, like helping the liver cleanse and stuff like that. So, and like I said, there's plenty of good things just popping up. A little bit of clover that's edible. Obviously we've got some good goldenrod here, a lot of goldenrod. They're about to be popping up some flower heads here pretty soon. Oxeye daisy, that was moved. These are edible. I love these leaves, they're really tasty. So again, here we got the beans. He's growing around. You got to kind of guide these guys the first couple of weeks until they get really going. Got some heavenly blue morning glory. Gonna be taking over this fence. Some sweet potatoes there, and the tomato just kind of hanging out over here. Of course, we got the random maple seedlings starting here. Dandelions, of course. These are onion seedlings. That's how they pop out. They'll actually pop out of that white casing on the outside, as you can kind of see right here, starting to pop out, and they'll make a black seed. I'm trying to seed them in here, but I don't know if they're going to take. If they're not, they're probably not an heirloom species. Of course, we got some red clover in there. Red clover is delicious, great for teas, really high in nutrients, micronutrients, good ground cover, probably good animal forage as well, just like most everything you're going to find in here. But this kind of represents a permaculture style raised bed where you're going to be breaking things down and mulching it right on the ground. As we take a look at some lemon balm here, hopefully I can get this to seed in here, as I have a couple other things. This is going to be only my second year doing it like this, where I'm just breaking things down. Other than that, I brought in a bunch of topsoil and filled in the raised bed. Get some time here. Filled in the raised bed. Here's one of my favorites, actually. This is delicious rosemary, Mediterranean herb that they say has a lot of good health benefits. Love the oils in it. The oils in it are just fantastic. More cilantro going to flower. Again, we got the beans running in the corner. Beans running in the corner. Let's stop and talk about this guy, because this guy was not planted here. It's another wild edible medicinal species. It's self-heal, or heal-all. So the dog wants to make another appearance. and that's got really good oils in it too. Don't want to go too heavy with that because it gets everything gliding, but it's definitely a good allurative, good for just about anything and everything. Some more tomato plants here I had to stuff in. A friend of ours gave me a ton of cherry tomatoes and actual tomatoes, regular tomatoes. So I had to jam them into the garden here, which is gonna work out. But I've got some peppers here going. There's another pepper plant over here, but in the way right here, this is a little bit of garlic. That's doing well. I cut that back once already, so I'm going to have to cut that back again to get the bulbs to be bigger before the harvest is here. You have to wait until they go and the leaves die back here. But to cut them back and gets the bulbs bigger. Same with these onions. If you didn't know, this is plantain. These are really good at, well, they're pretty tasty, hearty. Once again, just a good natural medicine all around, beneficial to the body, good oils in it. You can use it for a sunscreen with, mix it with olive oil or something like that and extract it with the heat. Works really good. Once again, got more heal-all and some cucumber plants. A couple cucumbers. The cucumber corner. I'm not sure what these guys are. These are just popping up. I think they might be from some old squash that I had left in there or something. But as you can see, there's a lot of stuff jammed in. It's kind of messy, letting the weeds grow and just kind of cutting around things to make sure everything's got good sunlight. Gonna let everything grow up in the corners, make it look nice and full. In the middle there is just a trash can. I turned upside down, warmed it up with the blowtorch, and bent out a couple of slots in it. Doesn't really work as good as I was hoping, but it's popping up crazy parsley in there. I left a bunch in there last year, along with a little bit of lamb's quarters. That's about the only lamb's quarters that is in here. And actually last year it was all lamb's quarters. So you get to see really how a cycle happens and how the disturbed soil turns into a more balanced ecosystem in a sense. What different plants come in to grab the deep nutrients and bring them back up to the soil, which ones stabilize the soil, which ones are going to be providing the ground cover. It's pretty interesting to see. And actually there's a really good tasty herb back there called shepherd's purse. It's got like a horseradish taste in it. It's really good. But let's walk over here to the hedgerow and talk about the hedgerow for a little bit, because this is something that